The day began with a smile I didn't even mean to have. I had spent nearly an hour curling my hair, just trying to feel good about myself for once. That night was Amber's birthday dinner, another one of those extravagant parties my parents always threw for her. I knew I'd end up fading into the background like always, but I still wanted to look decent. Maybe it was foolish, but I thought, what harm could it do just to look nice? The moment I stepped into the dining room, I felt the tension. Amber, dressed in silk with perfect makeup, looked at me and smirked. She leaned toward Mom and whispered loudly enough. She actually thinks she looks good tonight, trying to outshine me. Mom's face hardened. She set down her glass, stood, and walked straight over to me. Her eyes swept over me like I didn't belong. So this is what you spent your time on? Curling your hair, putting on that dress, pretending you're someone? Her voice carried, and suddenly every head turned in my direction. I just wanted to look nice, I whispered, my stomach twisting. Mom laughed, cold and sharp. Nice, don't kid yourself. You'll never look better than Amber. You're her shadow. Always have been, always will be. Dad leaned back in his chair with a smirk. Enjoying the show. Don't waste your breath, Linda. She needs a reminder. And then it happened. Mom grabbed the tall decorative mirror by the wall, the one she bought to admire herself, and before I could move, she smashed it against the side of my head. The crash rang through the room. My knees gave out as glass rained down like cruel confetti. Gasps filled the air, but no one stepped forward. My hand pressed against my temple. No blood, but the sting was blinding. Through blurry eyes, I looked at Mom. She was smiling, proud, almost triumphant. There, now you're broken enough to remember your place. Dad chuckled, his voice dripping with venom. Finally, you look beautiful, like trash. That suits you. Amber clapped once, laughing. Perfect. Now no one will steal my spotlight. The guests, relatives, friends. Amber's crowd shifted uncomfortably. Some laughed weakly, others whispered, but none of them helped me. I stood trembling. Glass tangled in my hair, my dress ruined, my chest burned not just from the humiliation, but from years of cruelty. Every insult, every dismissal, every time they praised Amber while reminding me I was nothing. Something inside me snapped, not into screams, not into tears, but into silence, cold, calculated, unshakable. I bent down, picked up a shard of the shattered mirror, and studied my reflection. My hair was tangled, my face bruised, my eyes wet, but I didn't see trash. I saw someone who survived. The glass slipped from my hand, hitting the marble with a sharp crack. I lifted my head, my voice low and steady. You'll regret this. The room froze. Mom's smirk wavered. Dad gave a dismissive wave. Empty words from empty people. You'll always be a failure. But I knew this moment was different. I wasn't going to cry myself to sleep this time. I wasn't going to swallow their poison until it became my truth. I was going to build something they couldn't mock, something that would crush the pride they used to crush me. And for the first time, I saw it, a flicker of fear in Amber's eyes. That night, I packed my bag with shaking hands. My scalp stung where the glass had grazed me, but instead of feeling broken, I felt fire. Every step out of that house burned with resolve. No goodbyes, no tears, no satisfaction for them. The beginning was brutal, a friend's couch, then a basement room with peeling paint and a window that barely let in light. I worked double shifts at a diner, cleaned offices at night, studied when I could. People laughed when I said I was saving for a business license. With your background, you'll quit before you start. But I didn't quit. I didn't burn out. I burned forward. Every insult became fuel. Every time Amber flaunted her luxuries online, I doubled my effort. They thought breaking that mirror broke me, but all it did was show me the truth. Them in their cruelty, me still standing. It took 2 years of sacrifice, thrift clothes, cheap meals, endless work, but I built something real. A small interior design business, ironic, since Mom worshipped appearances, except mine wasn't about showing off. I redesigned homes for single parents, struggling families, people who needed dignity. Word spread. Clients grew. By year 3, I had steady contracts. By year 4, a team. By year 5, I had what they swore I'd never touch: success, independence, and a name brighter than Amber's spotlight. Then came the news. Dad's company, his pride, his weapon, was collapsing under scandal and failure. Mom was banned from her country club after a tabloid-worthy meltdown. Amber, still clinging to their money, her parties emptier each year. They were slipping. And that's when I realized this wasn't just about survival anymore. It was my turn to make them feel what I had felt. Not with fists, not with screaming, but with something far heavier, something that would crush the pride they lived on. So I planned. I started showing up at their events, not as family, but as a guest others invited. The first time I walked into one of Mom's charity galas, her smile froze. She pretended not to see me, but the whispers around the room, the glances in my direction, cut her pride deeper than I ever could. Dad avoided me completely, jaw tightening whenever my name came up. He knew I was respected now, and every ounce of respect I earned chipped away at his illusion of control. Amber tried to sneer once. "So what? You decorate living rooms now? Cute." I only smiled. Funny how the things you call cute are the same things paying my bills and showing what you don't have. Her cheeks flushed, and she had no reply. But watching them squirm wasn't enough. They had shattered me in public once, turned humiliation into their weapon. I wasn't going to settle for quiet victories. I wanted them broken in front of the same kind of audience. So I studied them. Dad's failing deals, Mom's obsession with her reputation, Amber's desperate need to be adored. I reached out to the people they'd stepped on for years, the ones eager to hand me stories, documents, proof. Then the invitation came, Amber's engagement party, hosted by Mom and Dad, in the very same ballroom where they had once smashed me into silence. This time, it would be my stage. The ballroom hadn't changed, the marble floors, the glittering chandeliers, but I had. My heels struck with purpose, my dress was understated but commanding, my head held high. No longer the forgotten shadow, I was the storm they never saw coming. Amber sparkled at the center of attention in her designer gown, her diamond ring flashing beneath the lights. She saw me across the room and faltered. "What's she doing here?" she hissed to Mom. Mom stiffened, then forced her society smile. "Ignore her, darling. She'll embarrass herself eventually." Dad, red-faced from whiskey, muttered, "Like always, let her rot in the corner where she belongs." But I didn't stand in the corner. I moved through the crowd like I owned it, because now, I did. Guests knew me, they shook my hand, thanked me for my work, for the homes I had built, for the lives I had touched. With every handshake, every nod of respect, I watched my parents' pride crack. Still, they had no idea what was coming. The speeches began. Amber's fiancé thanked his family. Mom bragged about her perfect daughter. Then Dad, grinning cruelly, added, "We always knew Amber was destined for greatness, unlike some people." His eyes cut toward me, dismissive, sharp. Exactly the opening I was waiting for. That was my cue. I stepped forward, microphone in hand, my voice calm but cutting. "Funny thing," I began, and the room hushed. 5 years ago, in this very ballroom, my mother smashed a mirror over my head because she thought I looked too good next to Amber. My father laughed and called me beautiful like trash. My sister clapped like it was entertainment. Gasps swept through the crowd. Mom shot up, pale and trembling. "Stop this nonsense, you're lying." I lifted a hand. No, I stayed silent then. I went home humiliated, carrying scars no one cared to see. But I didn't break, I built. While they mocked me, I worked. While they laughed, I grew. And while they treated me like nothing, I became everything they can't control. The projector flickered on behind me, evidence spilled across the screen. Dad's fraudulent business records, Mom berating staff, stealing from charity funds, Amber's scandals, buried and blamed on others, testimonies, receipts, recordings, their secrets laid bare. The whispers turned sharp, disgusted. Amber's fiancé tore his hand from hers, fury flashing. You hid all this from me, he hissed, storming out while she stumbled after him. Mom shook her head violently. This is all fake. But no one believed her. Dad slammed his fist on the table. How dare you? I stepped closer, my words slicing through the silence. How dare I? You taught me humiliation, tonight. I taught you what it feels like to choke on your own pride. The room suffocated in silence. Their empire crumbled in seconds. Amber sobbed, mascara streaking. Mom collapsed into her chair, hollow. Dad's glass slipped from his hand, shattering across the floor, fitting, since once upon a time they shattered a mirror over me. I didn't wait for their pleas. I handed the mic back, turned, and walked out through the same doors I had left years ago. But this time, I wasn't broken. I wasn't invisible. I wasn't their failure. Whispers trailed after me. She's the strong one. She survived them. She's the one worth admiring. And for the first time, I believed them.